Hope to God it stays in the basement.
I let it go wrong. The officer will.
So we decided we'll put it all together and we'll get one of the students that then go to Gagetown and shine it up. Did a good job, thanks. And we attach a little teleplate and Bob's your uncle. No, he was your CO. That's right, Bob. Fine. Anyway, thanks, buddy. There you go.
So you're right here.
Oh, nice.
So it's a good citizen eco whatever eco drive.
It's the one you wanted, right?
Be like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and then he'd go and talk to the troops and go, okay, alright, the LT is a little full piss bigger, you know, we're gonna abuse him a little bit, we're gonna do this, but we're not doing that, we're not doing that. It's like 115 degrees. Yeah, it's 100 degrees. Nick and I are like dying, man. So, he was really good at being the buffer between me wanting to do all these kinds of crazy, stupid shit and working with the troops. Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right?
You signed us up for the marathon for the sports day over in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Course and got called out on a body job, Kiowa helicopter in the cusp. And we went, Des, Mo Coulombe, God rest his soul, and Les. And that was where it started, right? That's where it started, you and I. And it was all good from there.
It was.
I kind of wanted to, I was let everybody know where it started. I want to keep it on the swimming theme, because we're on that. So, that same summer, Daryl Skullroot comes to us and he goes, okay, I need 3 people to swim the Sydney Channel Challenge. And it's this race across from the Sydney Spit over to the Sydney Hotel. So I used to swim as competitively as a teenager, and so I said, yeah, I'll do it. And Brian said, oh, I'll do it. And Mike Drover said, I'll do it. So we pack up our stuff, our candy wrappers and our fins and everything else, and we get out there, and we're at the site, and we're meeting all these people from Australia and New Zealand and all over the world at this Sydney Channel Challenge. And so we grab our stuff and we're heading out to the boat because they take us over to the Sydney Spit. And the guy looks at us and he goes, what do you got those for? And we got looking at our fins and, well, there are fins. And he goes, yeah, there's no fins. So we had to leave our fins, but you know, we thought, okay, well, no fins, that's fine. We're clearance divers, we can do this. We get over the other side, and then we're watching what everybody's doing, and they're all putting, you know, Vaseline all over themselves, all over their face, and we don't have any, so we're going around to these guys, hey, can we borrow your Vaseline? And we're sticking it all over ourselves because we know that's probably something you want to do.
That sort of stuff.
And then we get in the water and we figure, well, we'll stick together. And
you won't stick together with Vaseline on.
So we get in there. So we get in the water, the race starts, and we're looking at how far it is away. We're going, holy fuck, that's a long ways away. And we go, well, that's okay, we can do it. So we get in, and so I get in, and I can swim pretty good, so I'm doing the backstroke, and Mike and Brian, they're kind of falling further and further behind, and the dog paddle. So then I stop and I kind of wade up and then catch up to them, and then I start doing the backstroke. So finally they go, Daryl, just fucking go. So I turn over and I took off, and I crossed the finish line, and I'm there at the finish line with my wife, who I don't think she was my wife then, but she's my wife now. And I'm standing there at the finish line, and an hour goes by, and Joanne and I are looking, and we don't see anything. Then this boat comes screaming up, and comes up to us, and she goes, you got to get in the boat. Your buddies won't get in the boat. They're getting hypothermic. Well, where are they? And she goes, well, they're drifting out to sea, because and she goes, the race is over, and they won't get in the boat. And I said, look, they're not going to get in the boat if I come out there, so you might as well just let them finish. So Joanne and I are still waiting, and we're waiting, and so the organizers come along, and they're taking down the finish line. They're packing up all the speakers and all this kind of stuff, and Joanne and I are waiting. Everyone else is gone. There's just me and Joanne. And we're waiting, and then all of a sudden we see these 2 guys jogging along the beach. They got down frickin' shore so far, and they had to run 2 miles.
So we stick a piece of wood in the side, and we back up with the spear gun, and we
you know, I can hit that thing. So I shoot it, and it goes up, and then boom, it stops about 2 inches from it and comes back just as fast. Whoa! It just about took out the starboard side. So we're like, holy smokes, Pete, Brian, come here. So they come running down, and Brian gets there first, and he's got it. McQuinn is chewing at his ankle, trying to get it from him, and no way. And there's Lou in the background. And I go, hey Lou, move back. And he's sitting there pulling me. And I just nail him. I said, move back. So Brian's like, I could hit that piece of wood. So he lines her up, and this thing stops and comes flying back just as fast.
You guys shorten the strength. I'm going this close to the target. No, you got to back up. You got to back up. You got to back up.
So that was some of the adventures we had together. Beautiful times, great friendship. Friend for life, Brian.
Cheers.
We're right in the middle. And we used to have this game, and we called it the snap count. And here's how the snap count worked. Monday to Friday, we would keep track of all the departments and all the people we'd managed to piss off during the week. And every time somebody came into the office, didn't matter who it was, if they snapped, they were upset with us, which was pretty much a daily occurrence.
We used to go home at night and think of ways to keep you guys busy.
Exactly. We used to work stuff up. And we'd say that to you. Well, we're not cooking this stuff up. These are real tasks. You have to do this job. We need you to get this job done. So whether the snap was coming from EOD or whatever department, or Chief so-and-so or Lieutenant so-and-so, or sometimes it was coming from above. It was the XO or the CO. Didn't matter who. We would count up the snaps. And the idea was the guy who got the snap count right or closest by Friday paid for lunch, didn't have to pay for lunch on that Friday. We used to always go to Subway, just beside Dougie Wilson's store up there. And it was great. And we did this week after week after week. And we'd always have this little thing in the corner that said snap count with red ink. And there was a number beside it. People used to come to the office and go, after they'd snapped at us, sometimes they'd look and go, what's that stupid sign there? It's nothing.
And then to figure it out, they would have snapped about that.
They would have snapped about that.
Bullshit, man. You guys are assholes.
Damn, I had it right until you snapped.
We did this every week, and I suddenly realized when we were retiring this week, I went, you know what? We're never going to be able to have a snap count again. I'm never going to be able to buy a Subway sandwich again. And I thought, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll go to Subway, and I'll get you, it says savings up to $85. It only cost me $10. And you will notice on the back here, in typical cheap clay fashion, there's one Subway sticker missing, but you got $85 worth of subs there, man.
I want to thank everybody for showing up. A lot of people here have been a big part of my life, definitely a big part of my military experience. Everybody here, 90% of the people in this room. Went through Cornwallis with some of them, and it's really overwhelming. Donnie, I really appreciate the fact that you organized this for me. Hopefully you weren't ordered to do it. And I'm sure everybody appreciates that it actually was shorter than some of your dive briefs.
Let's go to it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Hales ain't here.
What goes around comes around, Donnie. Thanks to the command team. Thanks, sir, for letting me start my endeavors earlier than my actual release date. I was driving around the last few days. I'm not going to lie to you. I was doing a bit of skiving. It hasn't been easy, and I was thinking, actually, I think I'm going to pull my release. Just to start off properly, I'd like to make a toast. Make a toast to Bayfield Davis, Joseph de Chapelain, Stefan Flynn, Bernier Prant, and Craig Blake. Those are clearance divers who lost their lives in the service of their country, performing the duties as clearance divers.
Sure.
Sitting here for the past a while, looking around the room, looking at some people, remembering some stories. People are moving around, kind of throwing me off, but went through Cornwallis with Barry. And I know a lot of you guys went through Cornwallis, but I mean, we are getting a little older, Walter. Well, actually, you're from Quebec. Did you go through Cornwallis? Or probably somewhere else. Saint Jean. Saint Jean.
Yeah.
And,
New France.
I'm sure a lot of the younger guys had different experiences, but back in that day, hazing was part of the curriculum. And well, Kevin, you went through Cornwallis, and either.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, no, I'm not going to start messing with you, Kevin.
I was hazed.
Oh, it was a part of the QS. And I remember checking in, and after about 3 or 4 days of, shaving your head and trying to make you walk right, that's what marching's all about. They issue all your gear and you get issued your PT gear. And it was just bizarre. It was like all white. White sneakers, white socks, white shorts, white shirt with little black bands around your sleeves and your collar, right?
It turned pink after a couple washes.
Exactly. And then it issue you a little jock strap. And they tell you, put it in a plastic bag, make sure that you bring it to your first class, your PT class, right? But I mean, it's just a blur. You don't even know what's going on. You meet people the first couple of days, and then you don't know who they are anymore because they got their head shaved. And I remember going up to, we just finished lunch, and we're running up to, and back then the military was big. I think it was about 140,000 people. I mean, Cornwallis was full. There was platoons. I think our platoon had like 90 people in it. There was a sister platoon. So basically, you got like 130 people. This is their first PT period, right? So we pull up, after running from the galley for our first PT period, and then there's all these Perrys out there. Leo used to be a Perry, didn't you? You see that one coming? Physical education and recreation instructor. And I mean, these guys were in great shape, and they're just waiting for it. They're just pumped, and they're just muscles on muscles, and they're just like yelling and screaming at us and going crazy. And then we go inside, and basically inside, there's all these other Perrys. There's about 8 of them. They're up on top of these green lockers that are beating the lockers with paddles. Get changed, get changed! And I don't know what's the deal with the paddles. We were an Navy platoon. And I mean, back then you couldn't join the military if you're over 24. So there was a lot of guys like Walter that were like 15, lied about their age, and they're like crying. They're like getting changed, and they're like crying. You're like, oh my God, man. Just a PT class. So then they get us out. Remember this, Barry? They get us out, and I mean, you still don't even know if you made the right choice in life because it's all just sinking in way too fast, and this is just one more spike with craziness. So basically, they get us in the gym, and we're running around the gym, and I mean, there's some people, they still got their high school graduation, PT shirt colors on, and then the Perrys are just, oh, you idiots, we issue you stuff. And, they make them go back while we're all in the push-up position. And we're just like, your head's just spinning, right? So this guy, his name was Cross, Sergeant Cross. Did you ever come across him? Just a little guy, right? And he was getting changed with us, and he'd be walking around the gym, I'm ready, why aren't you? So then he all of a sudden starts talking really nice to us. And he's like, we're having a big problem with our shorts. The manufacturer of our shorts, they're actually manufacturing shorts with pockets on the front. He's got us all sitting down. He's talking to us real nice. He goes, yeah, we have a real big problem, and let us know if you got a set of these shorts issued to you, because we want to know, because we're going to exchange, and we'll give you a proper set of shorts, and we'll send the ones with the pockets on the front back to the manufacturer, because they're actually ripping us for money. Who's got a set of these shorts? Well, about 8 people put up their hand. They're looking at their pocket on their front. Oh, you know what they did. They put the shorts on backwards. So this guy just like loses it, gets everybody up in front. Of course, nobody had their jock strap on, and I mean, there's a mix of a tune, and there's girls up there, there's guys up there, and they basically take their shorts off. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's like laughing. I mean, most of us were pretty good, but there was one guy. There's always got to be a mouthy guy. Chris Newby. Remember Newby, eh? Poor little man. Don't hang out with Chris, he'll get you in trouble. So we're up in the captain's cabin, and we're sitting around, and he's got a little fridge full of beer, and we cracked those. We're drinking a few beers, and he's, nice cigar box on his coffee table, and we were looking at the cigars, and we got our feet up, and Dave's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Dave, yeah, thanks, Captain. Started drinking and stuff, and it's all going really well. And then the captain shows up, the real captain. He's pretty cool about it, because he's trying to celebrate Christmas, naval tradition. The coxswain wasn't very happy. The curtain opens up, and he's just like, what are you fucking guys doing here? Right? And so it's just a lull in the conversation, and the captain's pretty good. He's talking to Dave, and trying to keep it light. And he starts telling us that he just had his cabin refitted, and he just spent like $600 to have a new carpet put in his cabin. And of course, Chris Newby's got to say to him, yeah, sir, it's really important to have a nice carpet in your cabin, considering you're probably doing so much business on your knees in here. Basically, basically the coxswain literally rips the jacket right off Dave's back. Get out of here, you effing asshole! Throws us out. Go down to the main flats, and I'll see you guys later. And so we're all getting ready.
Chris Newby's still a killer?
I think he is. MSL. So you're on the gun with him. Oh yeah. So anyways, so the next day, next thing we find out we're being charged. Our leave is jammed, like Merry Christmas, wonderful naval tradition. And they're not joking around. But as you know, as
we're getting an investigation by the police with Addison sick bay.
Yeah, exactly. What happened is, you know, they threw us out in haste. Of course, the guys don't want to have any spillies, so they just left with all these nice silver goblets that the captain had that he got from the Vancouver Yacht Club. Remember, Dave? And so basically, as you know, the coxswain and the CO were involved, so they can't charge us. So now this is going topside. This is going all the way, right? And so we're all like, oh no, our leave is jammed. Like, so they gather us all up, like Dave said, they all gather us up in sick bay. And back then, the military police, they had a branch, SIU, they were investigators. So this guy comes on board, he's, you know, look at some from the KJP, he's got like a jacket on, and, you know, he just gets piped on board. Next thing we all get mustered, there was about 6 of us. And I wasn't that lippy back then, I wasn't lippy as Chris knew, right? So this guy starts off that, you know, there was theft here, and you guys stole from the CO, it's a serious situation, and if I don't start getting some answers in my investigation, I'm going to be back this afternoon with the polygraph test. So I said to this guy, I go, polygraph test? That's got about as much credibility as palm reading. Yes, like, loses it, kicks us all out. Chief Yates, remember, Chief was the boy, just I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to go and leave, man. Hanging out with Dave. It's hilarious. Then the goblet mysteriously returned. Funny how that works, right? They weren't joking around. And then we sailed for about another 6 or 7 months, and they kept on bugging you, right? And
it's not about me, man. It's your day.
I was there. That was my day too. Good though.
Prince Rupert brought prop change.
Nah, it didn't happen. So then I ended up becoming a Clarke diver. Left the Capel. Tried to talk Donnie into it, but he was too busy in the radio room there.
Well, we're heading down to Australia. That's
fair enough.
Came back the next.
Bruce was my standby. Didn't say much. PT. It's been all good in the trade. Lots of laughs. Hopefully the young guys are having just as much fun as we did. I remember we used to go to Vancouver all the time. There used to be a Coast Guard station, Kitsilano, April Falls Creek. We basically used to pull up. It was really quick downtown to Hasty Streets with all the you know, heroin addicts, prostitutes, and all the good bars, right? Within walking distance, tourist attraction.
Begging.
Well, that's where I'm going with this.
Who was begging you?
Well, so anyways, you know, Daryl's always been a good friend. He's always mentored me and looked after me and always helped me out with the financial aspects of, you know, investing and things like that. And so we're walking back one day to the boat. Daryl's like, you ever begged? I'm like, what? You ever begged? What do you mean, like for food? No, change. For change. No, I haven't. He goes, beg. like he's like serious, and I mean he's always been a big boy. And I'm thinking, oh, you can take me. Maybe he's gonna punch me out if I don't beg. Like, and I'm like laughing, rolling the street. He goes, okay, if you don't want to beg, I'll show you how to beg. Once I beg, then you beg. I'm like, I don't even want nothing to do with him. Like, he goes across the street like this, and he's just like bumping into people. He's a big guy. He's got this big, expensive leather jacket on. And he's like, hey, you got any change? Basically, it was like armed robbery without the weapon. There's like ladies with strollers and kids, and they're like giving him change, right? See, because like, now it's your turn. See, look how much money I got. Okay. I'll do it. So I'm like, you got any change? No, not like that. You got to be more aggressive. Walk right up into them. Get in their way. You got any money? Like, what? I mean, we're dressed okay. It didn't look like we're on heroin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was like, you got to get some money. This. I'm not signing off your PO check until you get some cash. I'm going to be the senior instructor. I'm going to be the training chief. I need to develop my skills of training people, and very difficult skills. So basically, we go around the corner, there's a bank, it's closed, and there's these two winos sitting in this little steps into this bank, right?
You're on the bank?
He rolled the winos.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, Walter. So basically, I go up to these guys, you got any change? This guy's looking at me, he's basically got a bottle of vanilla extract in a paper bag. He's like this. Oh my God, I feel like a piece of crap. Then he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like a butt and some lint and like a penny and a nickel. So Daryl and I are like, oh, Daryl, we kind of whip out like $10 and fucking. Boy, Daryl, that was a lot of fun. Feeling like a piece of crap. And I just more money than I collected. I just dumped $150 on drinking tonight. And so he failed.
You didn't sign off the PO check, did you, Daryl?
I got 6 cents.
Well, he's a harsh instructor. He's not going to ask me. That's to whip anybody through. You don't fail, you don't pass, you don't pass. Right? Okay, what else am I going to talk about? So I spent some really good years in the trade, and I ended up going to JTF too. Volunteered to go there. A few guys in the room served there. A full cabin team. Serge planned it all out. I got to tell the story. This is funny, Serge. So anyways, you know, Serge has been really good. He's in his boys. We're in Trenton. You know, we're flying over to the Gulf to meet up with your team, sir. And we figure, let's go out and have a few beers because it might be a while before we have one. So basically, you go out and have a few beers, and we show up to the AMU the next morning, right? So Serge is, you know, he's answering to the CO, the Commodore. He's got an ID EOD team that's going in theater. You know, the Americans are getting ready to attack Baghdad. And then we're in the AMU. And this little transport rep, remember that little Killick, the corporal? He gets up on the counter, and basically you got 30 soldiers in the Patricias. They're flying over, and a whole bunch of odds and sods. And this corporal gets up, and he says, you cannot get on the flight unless you have a colored shirt. Do you remember that? We're like, what? What are you talking about? We're flying into an operational theater. We're going Camp Raj, and this guy's not going to let us on the plane because, I mean, guys in the Army don't have colored shirts. We're all drunk. Everybody's rifling through their bags looking for a collared shirt, and the guys that do have them, they're all like wrinkled and pulling them out of their shoes. And I'm just laughing at Serge. Hey, Serge, you're going to have to phone the Admiral and tell him that we can't get into theater because we don't have collared shirts. Remember that? Someone at the tarmac laughing at you, and you're like, leave me alone, man. That was stupid.
They were foreshadowing because you needed those shirts at the Golf and Country Club you were staying at.
Well, Vinny
It's quite contrary to when we
Guthrie got on the plane with flip-flops.
was.
I said, Vinny, if you can get on this plane with those flip-flops, I will give you my lunch.
What tattoo did he have on himself?
Oh.
You tattooed that?
No.
The best story. I don't even know. I don't even know about the search. The best story I have about that is so we're over in the Gulf, and Will was at FLS, right? So obviously, you know, we got some cash flowing our way, so we're not going to turn it down. So we're going to get all the skins and knives and all the stuff that you never see other than, you know, dive magazines. So we put in our order to Will. Hey, you guys really need this shit? Oh, we do. You don't need it? We're going to die. There's safety issues here, Will. Okay. You say so, Brian. You scammer. Click. So a couple of days later, they're doing a virtual with the Sea King. And, you know, they're basically taking everything out of the rope or whatever, the bundled stuff on the board. And there's a big box for the divers. And, you know, they're just basically dragging everything in the hangar. And, I mean, everybody is in the hangar other than the pilots and the guys that are doing the bird trap. Because they're all getting, you know, packages from home and mail and this and that. Well, the boys crack open this box. And basically on top of it, there's a steaming hot pizza. And I was telling somebody there the other day, they're like, of course it was hot. Everything's hot here in the Gulf. Like,
That wasn't steam, that was sweat.
Well, they pulled the box off, and there's a big 40-pounder of liquor. And they just removed a 3-ringer from command of a ship, remember, a couple of months? And I'm like, what's Will? Do you remember that? What's Will? Trying to get the guys back to the dive locker before they had to drink it into the flight deck.
It was on your list of things that were safety.
I don't think my OCD was as good back then as it is now.
And for those that, I don't know if they use that term anymore, ordinary seaman under training. Yeah? Do the old boys know? Anyways, at my first watch, because you had to do so many rounds just to get to know the ship and stuff, Okay, I'm just going to go on some messages for people that wanted to say something but couldn't make it. Brian, I'm sorry I'm unable to be with you for your very special occasion, but I know that you're surrounded by good friends and family. I would personally like to thank you for the support you have given me during our tour as the FUP coxswain. Your breadth of knowledge, sense of responsibility, and ability to lead me, no doubt, left me with no doubt that the job being done was handled by good people. You always got the job done, but seem to be able to have a good time as well. Your expertise will be missed at the diving unit. I have always envied the way that you are able to deal with people, always being very approachable while encouraging teamwork and assisting on high standards. Well, I know today is a long day, and I'm sure there are lots of people who have great stuff to say as well. They should. So I'll sign off with a final thanks for all the help you've given me over the years. Your friend, Rod, and that's Rod Goodwin. I'll be able to make it. Rick Roberts. All the best in the future. Ralph Germanis. Hopefully I can remember a story or 20. Fort Walton Beach comes to mind. I send my very best from the border town of TJ, Tijuana. That's Andreas Goldliner.
So not a lot to say other than what has already been said, Brian. You know, an outstanding career for 30 years, and you're moving on to the next phase and stuff like that. I think Tim has rebates and signing up on the other side and staying in touch with us and stuff like that. So I'm sure he'll sign up on the membership side on his side of the house next. On the certificate side, first one is from the commander of RCN. I think we're about 2 days on that one where we could have actually had Commander RCN presented himself while he was in the mess. A lot of good words that came out that day, and to wrap it all up, that contribution of your last 30 years and where we sit now and where we're going to the future, you're key to that. So Brian, on behalf of Admiral Madison, there's a certificate with regards to this day and the 30 years of service on behalf of the RCN, and that'll be in your package here. Commodore Bishop also sent off a great little note. It's new to what happens here in the formation as well. On the occasion of your departure from the Canadian Forces, please allow me to convey my congratulations and my very best wishes for a healthy and prosperous retirement. I also wish to pass along my thanks for your service over the past 30 years. You should be very proud of the contributions that you've made to the security of Canada and the greater peace and stability across the globe. In my view, military service is the ultimate team sport. And as such, I hope that you take pride in the success of the CF. While your direct contributions are evident to you and your family, your indirect contribution as part of a terrific team of professionals is perhaps less evident, but hardly less important. Bravo Zulu. As you retire, please know that you will be missed with by your friends and colleagues here at FTU and your shipmates throughout the fleet. I trust that you take with you your fond memories and your service in the fleet as you go. In closing, I regret that I'll be unable to participate in the retirement. However, please allow me to extend my thanks to your children, Brock and Montana, for their sacrifices they have made in supporting you and the Canadian Forces over the span of your career. Wish you and your family best of health, happiness and prosperity in the future. And that's from Commodore Bishop. This is on behalf of the Commander RCN as well, on the family side of it. If you could accept that on behalf of the Admiral of the Navy. Small token on his behalf there as well.
Thank you.
From the message from the Premier, she is written as well within there, and pleased to acknowledge your career with the Canadian Forces. City of Langford, from the Mayor and they're congratulating you as well. Very similar wording from the Premier as well, going along with that. Our standard plaque, heavy as hell. Make sure you put it on a good wall, probably exterior. I don't think interior walls will hold this baby up. And on behalf of that, Brian, I congratulate you on all these years of service. Unfortunately, over those years, you and I